Marlene. I teach 7th grade English at Pierce. We are now at Fisher Hill, which is awesome. Come visit us. We have one bathroom, but we are having so much fun. It's a little problematic. So
Have the bathroom before you go.
Yes, definitely. I had a bunch of starts and I wrote so much, tore it all up, and was like, I'm just gonna wing it. Things to know about me, I'm probably gonna end up crying. I just do that. Those of you, if I've had your kid, probably have been like, Miss Goncalves is crying again. Yeah, literature affects us in different ways. And this is a story, and it's a story that is gonna make me have feels. So this year, the BEF graciously paid for our middle school English department to go to the NCTE. The National Council of Teachers of English. A lot of prepositions there. It was in Boston, and it came up on the website, and I was like, I'm gonna write a grant. And everyone was like, yes, you write the grant. And I did. And there was a lot of puffery, I'm gonna be honest, because it was a grant. I used the words like rejuvenation and collaboration and collegiality. And then it happened, and every single word we wrote came true. You know how toddlers, when they're hopped up on sugar at a birthday party and they're excited and no one is really watching them and they meet a new person and it is their best friend and it's their best friend forever? That was the vibe, and Evan was there, of 7,500 people. Yeah, like, that was the vibe. It started with, I was walking with our 8th grade English teacher, Anise, and I forgot what we were talking about, but it was not anything that brought joy. Like, my hands were in my pockets, I was frowning. Anise sighed, and if you know Anise, her sighs are like dramatic and wonderful. And out of nowhere, this older woman came up and was like, you're new. And we were like, yeah. And she hugged us. And it was this hug. It wasn't like a, oh, hello hug. It was like, I know you, I see you, and I'm so happy you're here. See, it's happening. And that just set the tone for everything. It's hard to be a teacher sometimes. And I think it's hard to be a middle school teacher in Brookline. We're separated. We are lucky to have 3 of us, right? 1 in each grade. And it's rough. Like, you are in charge by yourself. And you're like, let's read and write and read and write and write and read, and maybe I'll do some grammar. And that can be really isolating sometimes. So being in a space with so many other people and going to see colleagues and cheering them on and just meeting strangers and becoming best friends and learning from them was such a great experience. One of my other roles in Brookline is I'm a 2nd and 3rd year mentor. Is that what it's called? Mentor facilitator. And one of the teachers in the English department is a 2nd year teacher. And later we talked about it, and just the look on his face when he was like, this changed things for me. This made me view this profession as something that is sustainable, and knowing that there are people who have my back and are there to support me and cheer me on really matters. The other big moment was standing in line talking to new teachers and talking to pre-service teachers who are trying to figure it out. I don't know about you, but when I started teaching, there was always like 5 student teachers. And now maybe there's 1. It's hard to get people interested in this job. So talking with student teachers and trying to convince them to come to middle school, not high school, trying real hard, is something that was great. And then there's my metaphor that I have to tell you about because it was a beautiful metaphor. I might have texted the executive director while in line crying. It's okay though, there were like 3 people hugging me immediately. As a middle school teacher, it's always interesting because when you talk to staff and other people, they're like, well, in the real world, and I've never liked that. Middle school is the real world. Everything is the real world. And the other saying I hate is, well, we need to burst their bubbles. No, we don't. Here's the thing with bubbles. They're actually not that strong. They don't stop things. They don't protect you. And they just, honestly, and this is where it gets a little cry, they reflect the beauty of what is inside and what's outside. So it's not about bursting bubbles. It's about expanding bubbles. and getting to meet other people and knowing them in a deep way, like that woman who randomly hugged me and a niece, who I later met up with and explained everything to her, and then we cried and held each other some more. So to us, I think the BEF is like the world's best bubble machine. Just that there's this group of people who wants to help and support with no strings attached, just you want to do something cool? I got you, and let's do this cool thing together. Now I'm supposed to talk about how this has affected our teaching, which is a big thing because there were about 12 of us there, and I stopped and talked to everybody, and then we also ran into random colleagues who were there. This really rejuvenated us and rejuvenated our teaching. English can get a little boring sometimes because we're teaching the same skills, right? I told the kids today we're doing a new argument unit that like the destination's going to be the same, but I'm going to try to get us in a new minivan this year. Here are some new ideas. There's lane assist. We got it. It's going to be fun. Don't make me turn this car around because I will. But in finding new things and being replenished, and also because Pierce lost half of our library, honestly, I got like 300 books. I got so many books. Did you get a lot of books? No? Oh. We got so many books, which is really hard to do in a group of teachers, because you know how like teachers are always like, I'm a teacher at the conference. No, I did.
I wasn't brave enough.
No shame. And it was hard because usually teachers love to pull the I'm a teacher line, and everyone there was a teacher. So it was really hard, but like me and Steph, like, hustled. We ended up with over 300 free books for Pierce. Yeah, I know. We hustled. A niece also hustled, but she is fancy and doesn't, always hustle as much because she wants to have serious talk. She's great. I think that's what it is for us, that the BEF is always here to support you when you need it, and just thank you. And I don't know how long that was. I wasn't sorry. Was that long enough?